The Queen Elizabeth, she was not lazy. She was one of the hardest working women in all of the world. You know what it takes to get up and do these things? It's every day. R.I.P. Debbie, but man, Debbie, where was our new song? You got a Rolex given to you, girl. I never got a Rolex given to me. I wish I had the Rolex. I wonder how she did die. So that is who we're remembering. She looked a lot like one of these soldiers. She was related, directly related to me. And I was hoping she was going to make it, and she chose that wrong side, that top five. That top five or whatever. What about that one out in the UK? He's famous. He's wearing a red jacket. Even the Queen loves him. I love him too. What's his name? He's big. I'm not sure. Tonight marks the final night of the Northern Lights light show on Parliament Hill. This year, the annual show featured images of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II to mark her 70th anniversary as Queen of Kings. Oh, I heard these fireworks the other day, and I was wondering, what the heck are these fireworks going off? Little did I know it was the remembering celebration, not remembering. Remembering is a word that we use when somebody unfortunately has finally passed on. But boy, I remember the Queen every time I go to bed. And with the fall of the Queen, maybe the fall of me eventually and all that. But I have this golden foil note with the Queen on it when she was younger. And generally almost every night when I go to bed, I do look at it when she was younger. I look at her now when she's older too. And I looked at her before and I look at her all the time. As many Canadians do, and even the Americans look at her, and many are feel free to look at the Queen. People look at the Queen, but here's the thing: some of them are. I watched this one, just the other night. The Queen's big into organizational things, which is cool. But I watched one the other night, and it was a group of people, and this is the assassination of Robert Kennedy. It was the Americans. Hey, you got to watch. Hey, how much the Americans? Okay, their trick is they have it. So you got to watch some of their. You got to watch their American history. Watch, I'll bring it up. See, we got metal. We had Timmons. We got metal. Right, but we don't have people protected it that good. But we're trying our best. But we need more enlistment in the RCMP. I'm one of their newest members. But I want to go towards the Robert Kennedy assassination. I was watching it, the other day, and it was well, what they do is they make you believe they love you all the way. Like, they love you, bud. You're in a group of them, everybody, and the next thing you know, boom, he was assassinated. They said that down in when I was down there, and I pretended I had no ambitions. They said, Tom, don't even utter anything. Just move on. I just had no ambitions. They got people down there that, hey, listen, even any good-hearted person, I would have never guessed it. You can go watch that. He's here at the podium. He's got nothing but good people all around him, just similar to today's. Next thing you know, he was assassinated. Was it by the Lord himself? I'm not sure. Then John F. Kennedy was assassinated when he was driving too. And then Diana was assassinated too, who happened to be in the United Kingdom. And there's a lot of rhetoric to go behind it. You don't know who the hell did it. Supposedly it was this god. He wants everybody to know it was him. Supposedly. Then they make you think there's a whole group of gods and like the Buddha and all that. This is what they say that one looks like. And that's the way he has came across to me. I'm not anti-God. I'm not. But one time he's like a little bit like a Keaton. And I feel like that's how he does people, like Keaton. Like, we're just playing a gosh dang game. It ain't that serious. But God knows the time, eh? It's like, he's given me some time. I wish I prayed to him that he gives me some more. But he depicted himself, and yeah, he's a lot like this. But sometimes he turns into like all different things. I don't know. It's a spirit. Anyway, we have it in the world. It's coming from the sun, and he keeps there. He knows what is he. The sun is like this. It knows, like, can detect everything on Earth with its radiation, and it also has those solar pulses. That's one of its detection systems too. Is Who is God? Is he the sun, or is the sun just one orb that he uses? Because I've heard that God has these orbs, right? He can spawn things. He has orbs. He has special powers. There's all types of power. I guess it goes with that. Well, it's kind of a bad word, in my opinion. They call it the Illuminati, and then they were calling it that Freemasonry or what have you, too. But I just never. Well, I at the time I was like, hey, I'm interested, but to call myself a Freemason or think I'm a, even to say the word Illuminati, the illumination of such and all that, it's just was one thing I never did. Some people, I guess, now that I get older, the more that you do praise with it and all that, the more gay you are with that Freemason. Well, now I understand the Freemasonry. I'm not an anti-gay. I just have this thing where I don't like to be touched in my penis area by men. Okay? I'm not anti-gay. I don't find anything bad about it. I just don't like people to put their mouth around my penis that are not a female and all that. What's wrong with that? Okay? And I don't believe in having sex with dogs. And I believe in a proper marriage to the woman, who happens to be almost exactly very similar to a man. But it's got to be the woman, right? It's just something that just got bred into me. I had the marijuana. That's the female plant. It's just unnatural other ways. But you know what is natural is to learn about God. And I guess it started with the sun. My theory was, well, this is going to advance you very far because it took me 15 years to come up with this theory. Was that the theory? Was that, yeah, the theory was correct. The sun is the heaven, or sorry, this is goes with Genesis. If you're talking the book of the Bible, because that's another learning. He's got me working this book of the Bible or whatever. Anyways, I don't know exactly what the sun is. It may be God itself. There's word of there's other It's bigger, that this is just one of God's tools for our universe. Or sorry, our galaxy. We got a galaxy, and he's got a group of these. It must get just, well, it's sort of fun for God every day to watch his humans work away and figure out his little, much like an advent calendar. It 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 made either his heart, well, it either sweetens his heart or it hurts his heart. Each little thing that we learn, and he gets to watch that individual learn the rights and the wrongs and see if that one can survive. And that's all he is. And then the duty is for us to survive. And the devil is could be the same person. It's really just sort of the universe. I'm not sure, but they say there's this heaven and hell. I believe it because I feel these feelings as I get closer to, well, what usually is the average life of death. But they say that, well, I seen that at the Kingdom Hall that I seen at the Kingdom Hall that they say that if you were tied in with Jehovah, you could live for thousands of years. I believe it because, or sorry, not the Kingdom Hall. I got to go to Bethel. They say I'm the chairman. Unfortunately, Bethel has been taken over by some other ones. I don't sit at the chair at Bethel, but I do a lot more than I feel like than the ones that sit at the chairman at Bethel. He doesn't produce these movies. He doesn't do very much, but sit on a chair at Bethel. You were supposed to sit on the chair and create things and stuff like that, or talk. Hey, they did a wonderful job with that Bethel, though. And I got to see it. I got to see it. And I got nothing but good things to say about Bethel. It's like I wish I could have did many things at Bethel that I didn't get to do. But at the time, I had just went through the dungeons. And then they brought me all the way to Bethel. Okay, I went from a dungeon all the way to Bethel. I had a self-defense case, and they held me in the dungeons for, well, I had to go to the dungeons for a while. 4 months total was how long I was in the dungeons for. Next thing you know, I'm at the most holy place of all earth, that being the Jehovah's Witness organization's Bethel. And now I fully understand it. I was learning from the ground up. I didn't know who Jehovah was. I came from a family that supposedly, well, didn't know Jehovah. My family, my direct family, didn't know. My father, John, he didn't know Jehovah that well. He does. He knows Jehovah, but he doesn't know the story of it or whatever. And I was into learning the story of it. But that's why I will begin to get more blessings, I feel like, than John. Well, I don't know. John's been blessed too. But God doesn't always tell you the best thing. He tells you to kill people and all that sometimes and all that. He's the devil. It's the same person. He's an archangel or whatever. No, they got angels too, buddy. My mom, I swear, I'd testify, got murdered in Cape Coral, Florida. I feel like there's been a lot of times there's been murders, and I didn't know. I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. I thought I was just sort of schizophrenic. I guess that's what the definition of schizophrenia is when you don't realize it's real or something. But well, I seen this Cindy girl. We were sitting there mourning over my dead dog, who happened to be an American pit bull. And we bought the American pit bull, and he was good. And It was court ordered that I would go to my dad's one weekend and then I would go to my mom's. And I used to trust my mom, Val, before I realized what she was. And, um, and, and all that. So, anyways, American Pit Bull. I guess a Jehovah may be a faggot, I'm hearing. What is a faggot? Because I'm not a faggot. A faggot is somebody that imposes their gayness upon you. So out of his fagdom, we got to learn the word faggot. Yeah, he acts like a faggot all the time to me. I don't know if it's a learning lesson or what. But hey, the word is that somebody could possibly become Jehovah, God, or whatever. How? Well, you have to put the faggot in his place. All right, but God was the one that came up with that joke for me to laugh. He's so ahead of things, this Lord. He's so ahead of things. But hey, there's nothing wrong with being a fag. I am a little bit of a fag, but I'm not a faggot. A lot of Canadians are fags. And I never thought I was going to be a real fag, when I was younger. Whoa. I didn't think I was going to be a real fag. And I even say it to this day. But then I catch myself sucking dick all the time. He loved sucking dick. Stacks a million. I was never a liar. It was like, yeah, I suck dick, bud. But but hey, it's got to be a special dick, all right? It's like God hates fags. It's back and forth. One minute God was a faggot, the next minute he hates fags. It's all up to you and what productive activity you're going to do. Now, picketing and all that's not going to make you the most money. So God ended up being the devil with you and that's what they say. But I like the demonstration. Yeah, God doesn't hate fags. He loves fags. If you're 100% one, and all that. I get, here's one that could be considered like 100%. So I'm not like that. And I'm not really like that now. But, whatever. Kills a black person. And I'm not racist. That's Mr. Faggot to you. Well, what's a bad. I don't get the. Okay, we got to this point. We're understanding it. What's the whole bundle of sticks? And I heard that one too. Somebody said, "What's the whole bundle of sticks?" Well, I think we had heard all this, and people were ready. People were ready already to hear it all, and I wasn't. And finally, now I'm here to hear it. What's the bundle of sticks? Sorry, I was about to say it. It means you're all bundled up with um, yourself, and you just it's all just a bunch of sticks, all the same kind of sticks, all bundled up and not spread out, and you're just a bundle of you're just like that, plain as wood type of thing. Whereas when you go for a female, you don't want to go anywhere near the rest of the boys, right? That look just like you, a bunch of fags, and that's what that is. And Jehovah, I guess, as a witness, each one of us has the power of God. He's the one that's talking for me right now with the energy that I have. But eventually, I'll have to go to sleep, and there's billions of other people. I don't know, I guess, but he gets. It's also just us people. There's a lot of questions he answers. That's his full-time job, I guess. But he also likes to have a lot of fun too. I mean, just like anybody. Even I've been like that where Take advantage of your position. Judith did it. Now I understand why. She was talking to God, somebody that, hey, I got the face and the hair of this guy and everything, but obviously me and God, we haven't talked that often. All right. And it was like this thing. He was watching out for me and all that, but he wasn't at the same time. He doesn't agree with the tattoos. He's a lot like these guys. Okay, I get it. All right, but these guys aren't the most important. These guys are not the most important. Just because you look like funny, kind of like how I looked, doesn't mean that you're any more special than anybody. Because I started out looking funny just like everyone else. And then it's your duty as a man to become handsome. And one thing that I determined was tattoos were going to make me look handsome because I was obese and still am. And with my obesity came the tattoos. I wasn't skinny. Skinnier guys, they look better being the clean. I said, you know what? I like the whole story. He's not that obese like that, but he's obese. I'm about well, my down here ain't as much, but my up here is even more. Because I tell my body, put the fat up by my belly and I guess I ignored my body. I was getting abused by my dad for so many years. My dad just used to yell and scream and beat me. He was the most abusive father in all of America. Most abusive father award. He taught me a lot, though. I love my dad. Give him a big hug. But you can't. Now that I see, wow. I guess at the time I said these videos and pictures of my dad abusing me can't be the worst of the worst, but they are. I can't find any pictures to show any abuse that bad. I mean, it would be considered rape or it would be considered something you would be arrested for. Is what it would be considered. Yeah, it was much like this kid, like literally all the way up until I was an adult. My dad suffered for the reasons. I'm not going to pull up a picture of his house, but he lives in one of those little shotgun homes next to Memphis, right where he always wanted to live. Hey, nothing against you, but he started in a $1.7 million mansion in Hillsburg, Ontario, Canada, and he ended up in Memphis. And it ain't as nice as that. Have fun, Dad. You deserve it.